How you doing, everybody? This is Fred. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about a little hack that I've been using for my Sawyer water filter. Now, this is probably the most popular water filter on the market. I know a lot of people use it. But one of the big drawbacks to it, and one of the big complaints with this filter is that after you get done using it, the water will leak out of the back of it. And when that happens, it'll get inside your pack, it'll get on your gear, and it'll make things wet. So I've come up with a little hack. Actually, I didn't invent this hack. I seen it someplace on YouTube years ago. And if I could remember the name of the channel where I saw it, I would mention it. It was a bushcraft channel, I believe. But in any case, I thought I would share it tonight so that you guys could see how this works. So stick with me here, and I am going to show you how to make an end cap for your filter out of a pop bottle or a soda bottle. So this is what the final product looks like. As you can see, it's the threaded portion of the pop bottle with the cap placed on the other end. And the way that it works is you can just screw that right into the filter just like that, and it will seal it up. So let me show you how I made this. What you want to do is you want to start off with a soda bottle. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a tip here, there are two different kinds of caps that you're going to see out there. I'm hoping this will come out here on the video, but you can see on this white cap, it has a little bit of an inner lip in it that kind of makes the seal on the bottle. And on this black cap, there is no inner lip. It just kind of has like a soft kind of a gasket that makes the seal there. And to be honest with you, this type here is probably a little bit easier to make this plug out of. Either type of cap will work, but this one is a little bit easier because on this type here, the lip kind of gets in your way. So if you can find this type, I would go ahead and use that, but if not, you can make this work. So let me show you how you're going to get started here. Okay, so you're going to start off with the pop bottle, just like this. And the first thing you want to do is you want to remove this, this ring that stays behind when you take the cap off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Get that out of the way. There we go. And once you have that off, what you're going to want to do is just kind of make a generous cut and just kind of cut off the top of the bottle. So let me grab my knife here. And I'm just going to kind of go there, just kind of cut around to get most of the bottle out of the way. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down even further. And what I want to do is I want to leave just enough of a lip here on the neck of the bottle so that it just sticks down inside the cap. And one thing I forgot to mention is you do want the type of bottle that has this kind of shoulder on it here, this kind of ring at the bottom. So like a Smart Water bottle would not be a good choice because they don't have this ring on it, but most of the soda bottles do. So you definitely want to have this extra little ridge or this extra little shoulder on the bottle that you choose. So like I said, I'm going to trim this down. So let me go do that, and I'm not going to bore you with that, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so here we go. I've trimmed down the neck of the bottle. And what you want is you want just enough of it left on there so that when you sit it down inside the cap kind of rests against that shoulder that I was pointing out earlier. You kind of want to have it touching if you can. So just kind of work it down until you can make it fit like that. Just a word of caution, you'll be surprised at how thick the plastic is here as you get up close to the top of the bottle. So it can be a little bit tricky to cut. So probably best off to wear some gloves or something like that so you don't cut your fingers. But yeah, just trim it down so that you do get that fit. And then I'll show you where you go from here. So now what we want to do is we want to glue these together. And I've used two-part epoxy on these, and that works great. But I'm also going to use this plumber's goop. I've used this before. And that's what I'm going to use tonight because it's a little bit easier. I don't have to mix it. The only downside to it is it does take longer to cure than the two-part epoxy does. So if this is something, if you're going on a trip and you're trying to make this the night before, this isn't going to be a good choice because you are going to need to let this cure for a couple of days before it's usable. But what you want to do is you want to just go ahead and put a good glob of this down inside the cap. And be kind of generous with it. Okay? And then after you do that, go ahead and take this piece and kind of work it around in there. What you want to do is you want to kind of try to get some on that piece of that bottle that you left stuck down in there. Like that. And then what you're going to want to do is, let me grab a toothpick here. Just get yourself a toothpick and try to work that glue around in there. And what you want to do is you want to kind of try to push it up against the sides because that's what's going to kind of form the seal. And if it looks like you don't have enough glue, you can always add more. You kind of want to make sure that that part of that neck is encapsulated down inside the cap with the glue. So let me just take my toothpick, work it around here a little bit more. And that's starting to look pretty good now. All right. I think that's going to do the trick. And it'll kind of settle down in there. It's sticking in my hands here a little bit, but you get the idea. And what you're going to want to do is if you have any excess on there around the outside, just go ahead and wipe it off. And make sure you don't have any on the threads. Wipe off the threads if you get any on the threads. I think I did a pretty good job here. And that's really it. What you're going to do now is you're just going to go ahead and let this thing dry. And this stuff here, I think the directions say it cures in like 48 hours or, for full cure time. So go ahead and let that sit for a couple of days. And what will happen is it'll kind of glue this piece down into that cap. And like I showed you earlier, your finished product is going to look just like this. You can go ahead and put it on your filter and seal it up. Now, just one note about this is if you have the Sawyer Mini, it will work for that. The only difference is this filter kind of has this tube that sticks out at the end here. So you do have to kind of be careful with the glue that you don't make it too high in here where that bottoms out. So, but as long as you just kind of pay attention to that, if you have this kind of filter, it'll work on this style too. So from my experience, this little DIY cap works really well. I've had my filter in my sleeping bag with me on cold nights to protect it from freezing, and I haven't had a single drop leak out of it since I started using this. So the one thing, like I said, you do got to be careful that you kind of get that glue worked around so that you do make a good seal. And the way you can test it is just fill it up with water, after the glue dries, and just to make sure none of it leaks out. And then you can test it real easily that way. So I hope you found that helpful. Thanks for watching tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.